Hey guys, this is Hetu and welcome back to etlqalabs. And in this session, I will take up some of the questions that I have received on my YouTube channel. So I have two questions. One is related to, this question basically you can see on the screen. Other one related to INSTR and substr function in Oracle, right? So, these questions are, looks simple, but I think they are very powerful as well as the most confusing as well. An interviewer might ask this kind of questions just to know whether, you are aware about when you talk about SQL, when you talk about SQL Server, etc. I mean, whether you are able to understand the clear differentiation between these two, all the terms or not, right? So that's the reason these are important questions, okay? So let's start then. Okay. So the question is every project we use data migration. How we say database, it's a database migration project, right? So, okay, let's try to understand two things here. Okay. One is the database data migration and other one is the data migration. So we will try to understand what are these basically, right? So first data migration. So data migration as by name, you can think that migrating the data, right? Migrating the data from one to other place, one to other system is nothing but data migration, right? So any kind of data, it can be tabular data, it can be, the data that is there in any file, etc. So actually from one system to other system, when we have to migrate the data, that is called the data migration, okay? That is very layman language, okay? Now, coming to ETL system, what you can explain is the data migration is basically uh, migrating the data from one database to other database, because in ETL we are actually storing everything in the data warehouse because data warehouse is nothing but a database, right? Uh, so we basically store everything on the database, and now when we migrate the data from one database to other database due to some reason, and that is called the data migration. So for example, I will just explain you. So let's say I already have one ETL system, which is actually existing system, which is already up and running since last 10 years, for example. Okay. Now, the data was actually being sourced from multiple source systems. Some of them were file systems, some were, different kind of source system, and then it was actually being loaded into Oracle database. Okay. Now, after 10 years, the company decided that we should go for the different database, not the Oracle database, because of some reason, yeah. There could be many reasons, guys. Yeah, there could be cost problem, or they might have got the better deal from the other database vendor, or there might be some strategic things that they are not actually able to achieve in the previous database, right? So it is purely based on the business requirement. They decided that they will go for Teradata now. Teradata is another database, guys. Okay, like Oracle, right? So they decide to go on the Teradata. So what will happen? The entire ETL job here, the source system is going to be same. The ETL process that you have built, the mapping, the job, etc., is going to be same. Only change will be the target database, right? So instead of Oracle, we will be using now the Teradata, right? And when we will use the Teradata, obviously there will be certain changes, right? There in terms of database objects, etc., how they work, it will be little different, not too much different, little different from database to database, right? So now what will happen is there are two things that they have to do. One thing is the database migration. So now that is the database migration. What we are actually doing is we are actually replacing the Oracle from the target database, and we are actually plugging in the Teradata as a database now, right? So what is happening basically, we are actually migrating the database, right? So database is migrated, which means we have actually replaced the database, Oracle database, with the Teradata. Now, what is data migration in this case, guys? Okay, so this is something with regards to ETL jobs. We have already replaced the database from Oracle to Teradata. This is database migration, that's all. Okay, now there is a challenge, guys. Okay, so existing data which is already there since last 10 years, that is actually available in the Oracle database. Agree? So what we have to do, we have to basically uh, take all this data, copy everything, and we have to copy over to Teradata, because this is the new database, and we are going to use this as a strategic system for our reporting purpose, right? For the downstream reporting purpose, right? So every data that is already there in the Oracle since last 10 years has to be migrated from here to here, right? From Oracle to Teradata. This guys, this is nothing but the data migration, because actually we are migrating every data since last 10 years from Oracle to Teradata. So this is the data migration, okay? And there will be lot of testing that is needed in terms of validating the data, whether it is good or there is some while loading there is some truncation, etc. Everything we have to validate, and this is purely guys, this is migration is the DBA's task. Okay, this is not ETL tester's job. So data migration has to be done by DBAs, and they have to make sure everything they have copied over from one to other database. But from our side, we have to do the testing as a tester, right? We have to validate, we have to take the data from, we have to do the checks here and perform one checks here, and we have to make sure that there is a apple to apple comparison between these two systems, right? This is what is called the historical data testing, right? So this is what, as part of ETL only we do this, okay? Other thing what we have to do is, from the ETL point of view, when we are actually pointing to the new database, Tera database, we have to test all the jobs, okay? That the jobs are actually working as expected, okay? So the jobs should be sorry guys, the jobs which were actually configured to load the Oracle database before, they are now loading the Teradata. So there is obviously testing that you have to do between Oracle, loading into Oracle and Teradata, and day-to-day jobs should be working fine. Okay, so those all the testing we have to perform, guys. So here database plus data migration testing both will be in scope. Okay. All right, guys. So hope you are able to understand it. Okay. So in data migration, we are not dealing with about any job. We are only dealing about the data that is historical data. We are testing and certifying whether everything is fine, finally loaded or not, right? Database migration, we have to actually replace the database itself, and then we have to verify whether the jobs, ETL jobs, everything is working fine or not, right? So all sort of ETL testings that we have to perform here as well. Okay. All right, guys. So hope you are able to understand little bit about it. Okay. Now, the second question is, he says that every project use the data migration. No, every project doesn't use the data migration activity or the data, database migration activity itself. Okay. So, for example, I have an ETL system that is built from scratch. Okay. So let's say today I do not have any existing system. I decided to build one ETL system for my reporting purpose of my sales data, let's say, okay. So company will decide it, and this is a very, they will build it from scratch. In that case, there is no data migration needed. Why? Because there is no data. There is no previous data existing, okay. And whatever is existing, maybe they can, they already have it, okay, in the particular database. So there is no database data migration needed here, and there is no database migration because we are actually building it fresh. So we have chosen the database whatever we needed. We do not have any previous database already in the system, right? So that's the reason every project doesn't have the data migration or database activity. If the project is new, then all these two things will not be there, guys. Okay. Hope I think this is what your question is. Maybe if I whatever I could understand based on this. Okay. Now, guys, second question that he has asked is difference between Oracle database, SQL database. Okay, guys. So first of all, there is no SQL database. Okay. We do not have any database called SQL database. There are two databases. One is MySQL and other one is Microsoft SQL Server. Okay, those are the databases. But SQL database, there is nothing called SQL database in the database world. Okay, there is a SQL language, okay, guys. Okay, so SQL language is very common that works on almost all the databases. Okay, so let's try to understand this. Okay, first, and then we will go a little bit in deeper about. Okay, so these are some of the popular databases companies. Okay, databases from the different companies. Okay, so for example, MySQL. I think MySQL now is part of Microsoft. That's what I understand. I might be wrong, but yes, this is one of the database called MySQL, and then Oracle database from Oracle Corporation, and then Microsoft SQL Server. This is the database that is from Microsoft. IBM have the DB2 and Teradata is having Teradata database. There are so many guys, MongoDB and other no NoSQL database, etc. Okay, but these are some of the relational databases that I have mentioned here, and these are the only database. So guys, if somebody is saying what is SQL database, what is the in this question, if you look at SQL database, there is no SQL database. Okay, we have MySQL database and we have Microsoft SQL Server database. Okay, all right. SQL is just a language. Okay, in most of in most of the ETL projects, we use database to load. Okay, what he has said that. Okay, other question. Do we okay all projects? Do we use okay all projects? We use which databases? He says that which database do we use in all the projects. So guys, this is completely based on what company has decided and what they want to use. Okay, so this is up to them only what they want to use. Okay, they can, based on their goal or strategy, right? They can go for database, any kind of database, either Teradata, Oracle, MS SQL server, yeah, anything, right? So it is completely based on them. And also these all the database vendors or companies, guys, they have their own license agreement and license fees, right? So the companies, when they want to opt for these databases, they obviously have to look at the prices and other things also, and how much usage they want to use. For example, I know that if we have the huge amount of data, then people normally go for Teradata, right? Petabyte of data. This Teradata is very efficient because we have the parallelism here concept, parallel run and everything is here. I think that works very efficiently, so that's why they go. I'm not saying that this is a plus point for Teradata and other databases are not good. I'm saying that some of the preferences based on what they want to use, right? What obviously some strategy and some design and some kind of decision has to be done before they opt, because every database company had the different charges, right? The annual AMC charges, right? uh, I would say the contract, yeah, license fees. All right, guys. So that's up to them. So that's something based on their usage. And we have to learn Oracle database or SQL database. He says that again, guys. There is no Oracle SQL database. We have MySQL database and Microsoft SQL Server. The other two databases. So I understand what he want to say. Okay. So what we have to do is, we don't need to worry too much about databases because so many databases are there. We cannot learn each and every databases, right? Every concept. Okay. That's why we have something called SQL. SQL is a structured query language which works in almost all the databases. Okay. So that same query you can run in all the databases. So you only need to work that common language called SQL, and everyone is learning that SQL only. And my whole series that I have created is based on SQL only. Okay, but there are certain functions that might work in Oracle, but that might not work in other databases. Okay, so we have the equivalent function in those databases, but those are very limited. Okay, that if you're not comfortable, you can very well Google and you can check that what is the equivalent function to perform this thing. So for example, INSTR and substr is there. Okay, INSTR is basically to get the position of a character, okay, in SQL data. We will take that question. It's there in this only, okay. In Oracle, we have the INSTR function, but in I think Microsoft SQL Server, we do not have INSTR. We have something called char index or something. Yeah. So guys, there will be minor differences, but you can't really learn each and every database, all the syntax and all. We have Google. You can Google and you can get it, but you need to know the basic concept about SQL because that language you need to know. Okay, then only you can work on any kind of databases. So guys, I'm saying you don't need to worry too much about a specific database for Oracle and MySQL. You just need to learn the SQL. That is the common language, structured query language. That's it. Okay. All right, guys. Hope I am able to answer all these questions. Okay. So let's move to the next question, guys. Okay. What is the next question? I got this from Niklesh. Okay. So he says that he has asked, I think he has sent this question twice because I needed some more clarification. So he said that what he need is basically this is a table, for example, employee table, and he has employee name field Mayank. Okay, what he need to know that he need to fetch A and A from this name field. Okay, Mayank output. So his output should be A and A. How do we find it? Okay. So guys, this is something you can do it static way also, but I will tell you something that is very important, and that will work for all the values, right? So employee name field, I mean there will be multiple employee name, right? So this particular query will work on everything, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go to my Oracle database, okay? And guys, first thing we have to use the substr function and INSTR function. Okay, I will tell you each one of them how does it work. Okay, so first of all, let me go there. I will copy it, and then after that I'll explain you. Okay, how does it work? So guys, I have already inserted it. So I have this table. Okay, so for example, I have this employee. Okay, Mayank. Okay, I just need to know this A and A. Okay, I just want to take out A and A in this output. Okay, so when okay, let me just copy paste it here. Okay, fine. Let's run it. Okay, guys. So this is the output that I have. Okay, maybe I can do something. One second, guys. Here. Okay, substring, something like that. Maybe I can put. Okay, something. Yeah, name. Elias. So guys, you see that. Maybe I can take employee name also so that we can try to understand better. EMP name. Okay. So now EMP name, and this is just those two characters, right? Wherever A and A are coming in whichever name A and A are coming, those two will be taken here. Okay. So now you see here, guys, if we do not have find a match A and A, we did not find here. That's why it has taken the first one twice. Okay, because we are actually concatenating this first one and then second one. Okay, so let me explain it first. Okay, so what I have done is Mayank, it is actually taken correctly. Layaka, this is some name I have taken randomly. So A and A here also coming, so that's why it has taken A and A. And here LAYK, here we have only single A, we do not have second A, that's why it has taken L also after A. So first it is able to take, and the second one it has taken L. Okay, I'll tell you how it works. Okay, guys. Okay, first of all, let me show you how the INSTR work. Okay, and then after that we will see how substr works. Okay, now INSTR is basically this one. Okay, this INSTR, when I say INSTR, guys, just try to understand what I'm writing. Okay, now I think it'll be clear. Okay, EMP name, and INSTR will give you the location of that particular character or substring, whatever you say, right? So now let's say I want the location of let's say this one, right? A, first one, first A. Okay, so I basically want to find out what is the location of A, and that's how I will start my substring from A only, right? In that case, so I will just say I want to take the location of from employee name, and what is the match pattern A, and I will start from 1. So this is the starting. Okay, so this is I will start from 1, the position number 1. Okay, from here, and then I want to find the first occurrence. Fine, from EMP. Let's see, guys. Okay, so one second. I think I just need to take employee name also. EMP underscore name. Guys, try to understand. I think it is very easy at the same time. Okay. So you see here in Andreas, we did not find any A. Okay. Roger also we did not find. Here we found. Okay. Here, but what says that what is this particular L layak? Okay. In this one, I found at the position number 2. That is correct only, right? So position number 1 and 2. Here we did not find, that's why it is returning 0. Wherever I am able to find the pattern A, right? That's where it is returning some index, otherwise it is returning nothing. Okay. Now in Mayank also I found 2, right? Because this is first and 2. So this first instance I found here, and here also second. Okay. So what is happening, guys? In INSTR is basically searching on this particular employee name field, and it is searching A and is starting from number 1, position number 1, and it is actually telling wherever you find the very first occurrence, tell me what is the position. Okay, that is how it is actually giving you, right? So here it is found the first, this one. So these are at the position number 2. Now, guys, other question. Now let's try to find out how do we find the second occurrence. Okay, first occurrence we got it, but in many of the name, for example, Mayank, we have second occurrence also. So this ideally should be 4, right? And here also it should be 4. And remaining there should be 0 0 because there is no second occurrence, guys. So same thing, same instr function I'm going to use. I'm going to again start from 1, but this time I would like to get the second occurrence. Okay, so I will put here second. Let's try and see. Correct, guys. See here, this is fourth position. Here we got fourth position, but in rest of the name field we do not, I mean name, these values, we do not have any A, I mean second A. Okay, only first occurrence of A is here. Okay, but we are actually trying to find the second occurrence. Now I think the problem is little bit solved, guys. Okay, now what we need is if we find that name, okay, we would like to extract it, which means I would like to take that, okay, display it. So let me use it. Okay, let me try to okay, all right, I got this. Okay, in this case I will be able to successfully extract a from here. Okay, in this case, guys, so this is actually giving a position, and if you remember, okay, this is perfect. I have used the substr function. I have created a separate video. I can put in my description box again. If you want to check, you can check that. That will clarify your doubts. Okay. So we have to use the substr. Okay. Substr is a function that will actually give you the output that will basically give the part of a string. Okay. So based on whatever we decide. So let's say substr, I will say I want to get the substr from employee name, this field, and I want to basically start from where, guys? I want to start from this location because this is the location of a first instance, right? First I have received this. Okay, so I want to start from here. In this case, the starting, and what is the ending, guys? It will be only one character. Okay, because I just need only one character, right? Okay, so I need only one character because I want a, right, as per his question. So that's why I have put the ending as 1. Okay, which means it will just take only that character. So it is basically, substring is basically extracting the substring from the employee name, is starting at this location, and this location is basically returning you 2 in this case, let's say here, and it is basically starting from 2 and going up to one more character, means that same character, right? Length only 1. Okay, so this is length, guys. Okay, if I run it, let's see what I get. See, guys. Okay, here since there is no match, no match, no match, no match, no match, here no, yes, match, right? Match is there, that's why I'm getting a, because here I have got this 2 2, right? So that's why it is starting. Now, guys, why this is coming a here? Any idea? A is nothing but this is the very first character, right? I mean this one. Here R is also here. If it is R, this is also this one, right? Since this INSTR has returned 0, guys. Okay. So basically in this case, what is happening is when we are checking this employee name, actually it is starting from 0. This is the starting index, this complete one, and then a starting index, and it is taking one length, right? That's why it is coming AR, because it is going to start from 0. That's why here A also. You get here A also, right? And but in this case, it is actually starting from 2. So in this case, let's say 2 means it is starting from A here. A here. Correct? This is the second position. Hope I think you are able to understand, guys. Okay. And all right. So what I will do is Yes. Uh, 1 second. Yes. Now I got this output. This is my, this is the first A, right? I need now second A. So what I have to do? I have to actually combine the output of first and second. So for second, I have to use this pipe operator, guys. This is concatenation operator that we use in Oracle. Okay. Now, okay, let me copy this because this logic is going to same. Okay. This everything will be same, guys. Okay. Substr. I'll just change little bit. I'll tell you. Okay, what change exactly. So let me copy it first. Okay. Now guys, so this one, if I run it, it is essentially taking this and this. Okay. Basically this one and this one are same. I mean basically same, but I don't want this. Okay. I want this particular word, right? This is the fourth one, right? So I showed you, right? So to get the starting the fourth character, right? Fourth INSTR, I mean the position in the second one should be this one, right? This character, right? So let me modify it. So basically, I need to find the position of A in employee name, which is the second occurrence, and that is starting from 1, position number 1. So what is the second occurrence? This one, right? This one, second occurrence. Here also this occurrence. Okay. So that's why I should be able to extract it. Okay. So this will give you this position, this particular what do you say? Um, this character, yeah, extracting character. And what is the length, guys? Again, length 1 because I am taking only one single character. Okay. So let's try to run it. Okay. So this is what I got it. Okay. In this case, if you see, guys, LAYK. In this case, we have got only first occurrence. We do not have second occurrence. That's why for the second occurrence, it has returned the INSTR value as 0. That's why it has taken this one. Okay. Here it will be SS. Here will be CC. I hope you are able to understand, guys. Okay. So this is the query that you have to use it. Okay. And if you still have some doubt, guys, please go and watch my videos that I have built. I have done on Substr and INSTR, so that you can get benefit out of it. I think that will give you a lot of concepts. Okay. I have explained it very nicely there. So you should go and watch that video, guys. Okay, that's all, guys. I think I wanted to cover this, two questions which I thought were very important. And see you soon with the next video. And guys, yeah, one more request. If you have your first time on this channel, please do consider to subscribe if you really getting some idea or some knowledge from this channel as a token of appreciation. Yeah, guys, so that's all, and see you soon with the next video. And happy learning. God bless you guys. Bye.